Good evening, high school football fans. Welcome to the Prep Sports Report High School Pigskin Preview for week number 4. I'm the coach, Carl DeMasi, and I'm glad to be back with you for another recap of last week's games, coaches' interviews, and this week's Friday Night Lights schedule. With some teams, it's region play tomorrow night, and others getting ready for next week's region opener. But as usual, I'm always looking for a Friday night under the lights. It's time to talk high school football in the Savannah area, and it's a packed show. Once again, I will have 3 guest head football coaches breaking down last week's game, sending a shout out to their players and their programs, and of course, previewing upcoming tomorrow night's games. We'll talk about who will be on in a moment, but let's review last week's final scores and outstanding performances for last week's high school football games on Friday night, September 9th, and Saturday, September 10th. Local teams that played at home: Effingham County 42, Southeast Bullock 6, opening up that brand new turf field. Nate Hayes, the junior quarterback for the Rebels, was 14 of 18 for 177 yards and a pair of scores in a 42-7 win over Southeast Bullock. South Effingham 45, Bradwell 0. Justin Martell, senior running back for the Mustangs, rushed for 145 yards and a pair of touchdowns in a 45-0 win over Bradwell. Windsor Forest 14, Islands 10. Johnson 21, Brantley County 19. Armani and Scott for Johnson. Adam Smashes, the senior, rushed for 162 yards and a touchdown on 19 carries. Savannah Christian 49, Battery Creek 6. Stopped right after halftime for weather. Paula Zitrow, the quarterback, was 11 for 14 for 164 yards, 4 touchdowns, and also ran for a score. All right, there's more, of course, more outstanding players from Savannah Christian. David Busey, the junior, had 2 touchdown catches, an interception, 5 tackles, and a fumble recovery in the win. And then Kenry Wall, sophomore running back, took the opening kickoff for an 85-yard touchdown, had 4 catches for 67 yards, 2 scores, rushed once for a gain of 35 yards in the win. John Paul II, 42, Memorial Day School 7. Local teams on the road: Ware County 14, Benedictine 10. New Hampstead 42, Southlake 0 out of Florida. Paulie Seeley, Wofford commit, senior quarterback, threw for 3 scoring touchdowns and a 42 win over Southlake. Seeley has 13 touchdown passes for the Phoenix, who are 4-0 on the season. Calvary Day at Frederica was postponed because of rain. Claxton 31, Groves 8. Butler 54, Savannah High 12, St. Andrews 37, Hilton and Prep 19. Zaire Edwards, first win for the Lions, had 104 rushing yards, 72 yards receiving with a touchdown catch from his brother Zayden in that 31-19 win over Hilton Head Prep. Bethesda 48, Caroline Academy 6, 4-0 for the Blazers. Noah Jenkins, sophomore, rushed for 132 yards and 3 scores on 14 carries. Saturday, Baker County 35, Richmond Hill 32 in the Georgia-Florida Challenge down there in Brunswick. Raven Grant, the senior wide receiver, had 8 catches for a career-high 219 yards, a pair of touchdowns in that loss to Baker County. The quarterback, Ty Goldrick, was 14 for 27 for 354 yards and 3 scores in the loss to Baker. Don't forget, the Prep Sports Report has a ticker running every Friday night at the top of its website, prepsportsreport.com. Week 4 schedule: Friday night, New Hampstead at Richmond Hill, Jenkins at Carrollton, Islands at Brunswick. Region play: Johnson at Beach, playing at Savannah High. Calvary Day School at Liberty County. Long County at Groves at Garden City Stadium. Savannah Country Day at Savannah Christian at the Pooler Stadium. Portal at Bryan County. Savannah High at Cross Creek. Notre Dame Academy at Memorial Day School. They'll play at Memorial Stadium. Bethesda at Cross Creek School has been canceled. Blazers 5-0. And tonight's show, the lineup will feature 3 head coaches. From St. Andrews School, head coach Kevin Prezant, South C. Johnson head coach Kendrick Bonner, and wrapping it up with Savannah Country Day head coach John Mooring. Coming up right now, St. Andrews head coach Kevin Prezant from last Saturday, as heard on the Carl DeMasi Sports Report every Saturday morning, of course, presented by Coach's Corner and the Coach's Corner Sports Network. First win of the season, Thursday afternoon, matinee over at Hilton Head Prep because they got no lights. So they moved it from Friday to Thursday because of the weather. The St. Andrews Lions pick up their first win of the season, 37-19, 31-19. I don't know what the right score is. We'll find out from my next guest, who's joining me on the Coach's Corner hot seat, the head coach himself, Kevin Prezant. Kevin, what's up?
What's up, Coach? I appreciate you having me again, and thank you for what you do for high school athletes and these kids around here. We really do appreciate it.
I mean, it's it's like it's fumbling the ball, but you can't pick the ball. You know what I mean? You're trying. I couldn't see anything. I've never used a MacBook before. Got a brand new one. I lost the display, but I figured it out. Good old phone. Siri, help me out. So if anybody loses their display, press Shift Option F2, and you get it back. And I can see Kevin now.
That's all over my head, man. They gave me a Mac when I got to St. Andrews, and I said, this is way too fancy for me.
Yeah, it's very tough. So, but anyway, congratulations. First win of the season. Your new head coaching spot. People don't know that you were the head coach at Heritage Academy up in Newnan, Atlanta. You coached 3 years there. You got to a state championship. You lost to the legendary Alan Lowe, who was a Cowrie for the longest time.
He was my coach.
He was your coach?
Yeah, at Deerfield.
Wow, small world that is.
Yep.
All right, so tell us, 3 games. You've been waiting for that first win. You finally get it. Tell us all about it.
Right. Well, it was, again, nothing's been normal this year. Nothing's been normal. We didn't kick off with our first game till 8:45 because of lightning delays. We went down to Valdosta to play Valwood. Had to call it at halftime because of lightning, and we would have gotten back at 5 a.m. Third game, we had to move because of our field conditions. It was on the marsh already, and it rained for 14 days. So we had to move it to Saturday. So we played at 10 a.m. last week, Saturday. So short week anyway. And then coach from Hilton Head Prep called, and I understood. He said, Coach, if this weather comes in, we're not going to be able to play on Friday. I said, dude, I get it. That's all we've been dealing with. So we went over there for Thursday afternoon football on the island out in Hilton Head, and we ended up. Our kids were ready. We were relaxed. We were loose because we didn't have that regular week of practice. So we had to kind of get it in really 2 days because we couldn't. Monday we just did film and we're in the gym because of weather. So we really only had 2 days to prepare. So we didn't really worry about. We're not at the point where we can worry about other teams. We have to worry about us and worry about us getting better and doing what we do to try to get over the hump. And so we were relaxed. We were kind of under control. We were ready. The guys were hungry for a victory, for success. And God, I wanted them to get rewarded on the scoreboard so bad. and they ended up going out. We turned the ball over some, but we were able to get some takeaways as well. And the final score was 31-19. In a perfect world, everything would have gone right. It could have been a 49-6 game, but with some turnovers here. Fumbling at the 1 yard line. 1 yard line on first down, we fumbled. But anyway, the kids, they got after. They played so hard. They never let it sink. When something went bad, they didn't shut down. They kind of kept fighting, and that's something that we've been preaching the last few weeks because I guess the days of old was they were getting beat and it was over. So we're trying to battle through that, and we did a great job. And after the game, I got a little emotional after the game, but with them. But they were so excited, and I didn't. Usually, I would stop them from celebrating like they would, but I didn't care. They were excited. They were having a great time, and I was like, "All right, guys, let's get in the locker room. Let's get out. Let's go home. We got school." But they were excited.
I mean, it's just a good feeling when you get that first win of the season. It builds up some confidence. The week before, you were in the game against John Paul's second. You came up short, but I'm telling you right now, I got to give Zayden Edwards a lot of credit for convincing his brother to play because those two are a combination that it's going to be tough for a lot of teams to handle with coming up in their season. Right.
Zaire's a special athlete. He's an even better kid, but he's a phenomenal athlete. He's a gamer, and he wants to compete. You should see him. So a few 6 months ago, he played chess for the first time. Now he watches chess videos and is in there trying to beat everybody. He wants to compete at whatever it is. He wants to be the best, and he goes out there and plays like it. And he's a leader. He never gets down on anybody, but he's the best athlete out there. Majority of the time we step out there, and you can look at his stats. It's just amazing. I mean, he's a gamer. And Zayden, being a sophomore, he still makes some sophomore mistakes and things, but he has the best. You've heard me say this 100 times. He has the best leadership skills I've ever seen for a kid his age. It's unbelievable. He gets everybody up. He is hands down the leader of our football team, and he is hands down the leader at the school. So as long as you have a guy like that pulling your trigger, right? And what's fun? Another thing, they're fifth grade sister Ziana, she's one of the best kids in the school. So I mean, they're doing it right over there. So
well, I can tell you right now, don't take this the wrong way, Coach. But when we were at the Prep Sports Report Optimal Orthopedics Media Day, that kid took over the show.
Oh, no doubt. No, let him talk. No, that's what he does. He takes over practice. He takes over film. It's everything we do. He's just the guys over there look up to him. They respect him. He doesn't get down on anybody. He understands. He makes mistakes, so he understands everybody else is going to make mistakes too. But the guys playing around him, I mean, he hypes them up. Cullen Connor has been great for us this year. Ethan Wilkins has been great for us this year, and those are guys that Zayden stays on too. We've got some good stuff going. Our D-line showed up Thursday afternoon. D-line showed up Thursday. Ricari Harrison, a defensive end, told me last week after the game that I was going to see a different player in him, and I did. Hayward Pollard getting after it. Zach Appel, who's our big, huge lineman, hasn't played defense since he was 10, and we've moved him from the offensive line to the defensive line. He got after it. Again, like I said, Ethan Wilkins is at his spot at defensive end. We threw in a little freshman, Joe Frazier, into the mix at linebacker, and he got in there and mixed it up pretty good. And newcomer, Jalen Shepard, first year playing for us, had those 2 picks and kind of sealed the deal there at the end for us. So it's been good.
And if you're just tuning in, we had a little technical difficulty in the first segment. I lost my display, so I couldn't see what I was doing. You got to run the control somewhere, but we're here talking to the head coach over at St. Andrews, the Lions. I do apologize if I call you by the old mascot because
you haven't done that yet. You haven't done that yet, so I'm proud of you.
Well, your hat helps me out a lot, you know that. But anyway, when I came over there in the year 2000, I came into a program that they were all world. They won a state championship. I only had 18 kids my first year there. Right. We went 3-8. We made the playoffs. Because Skeezy, a lot of teams don't have enough numbers to make the playoffs. We made the playoffs, showed well, but the following year, of course, we won. We wound up having 35 kids. So what are the numbers like right now for you out there?
Right. When I was at one point during the summer, we had 15, and that was what we were. I mean, I was preparing to have that battle, but right now we've got 26 on the roster. So we had some guys come out throughout the summer. And we had some kids that moved into Savannah and started going to St. Andrews, so they're out there. And then we had a couple transfers come in that hadn't played football at their other schools and wanted to come out and give it a shot. So we don't have a lot of experience. We got some kids that have never played before or haven't played in a very long time. My running back, actually, my starting running back, the carry, first time he touched the ball Thursday was the first time he's ever been in the live football game running the ball from Germany. So anyway, but we've got about 26 on the roster. I've got we're dressing 25 right now. I've got one that's hasn't been cleared yet from an injury, but he'll be he's at Justin Kreider. He's going to be a linebacker, running back type for us. And as soon as he can get out there, he's running around and practicing a little bit. He's just not cleared to go live and full. But we're looking on the up as far as numbers. And I think after this year, I think once they see how we do things, regardless of the record and everything, how we do things and the excitement that we're trying to bring and everything, I think we're going to have those numbers up to around 35 would be my goal. Like you said, when you get to 35, right? Because that'll be comparable to the teams we're playing. Valwood had 51 on the roster. Bullock Academy, Pinewood, those kids grow up knowing they're going to play football for Bullock Academy and Pinewood, right? So we're going to get there, and hopefully next year we can have those numbers up.
All right, quickly, 2 minutes. I got my next guest waiting. Rest of the season, what does it look like for you guys? Who are the Lions going to have to take on?
Lions we're off this week. Off next week. I'm actually going to go see my mom and dad up in Noonan. Hadn't seen them in a long time, so me and my wife gonna head up there. And then after that, we've got Memorial for homecoming, and then Robert Toombs. Trinity Dublin comes to us, and then the region with Frederica, Bullock, and Pinewood in whatever order that is. But I'm not worried about it. You have no idea how much. Every coach says like one game at a time, and I'm living one day at a time. We have to at St. Andrews, we're doing all right, one day at a time.
Hey, I can vouch for it. And coming from a small school in East Rockaway, New York, then coming here at Groves, I mean, before I got to Groves, I went to St. Andrews. I coached at Jenkins. We had 60, 70 kids out there. Going back to that 18 kids and learning how to half-line scrimmage.
Right, yeah.
You got to make it do. Well, Kevin, keep it up.
Yeah.
You can see the excitement's there, and I appreciate you coming on. And I'm sorry about the technical difficulties, but
happens.
Keep it up, and appreciate it, and good luck. And we'll be talking before the end of the season.
Yeah. All right. Again, Carl, thank you for everything you do for these kids in this area, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate it. Even if I fumble and stumble, I'm still going to do it.
That's right.
Hey, tell Mom and Dad I said hi.
I'll do it.
Talk to you later, Kevin.
See you, man.
I mean, here's a young guy that has a lot of passion about teaching and about coaching. Going to St. Andrews, he said he wanted to go back to that smaller school environment, Deerfield, Windsor, Heritage, Noonan. I mean, so, he likes where he's at. He loves what he's doing. St. Andrews is going to build that program up pretty quick again. Like I said, go out there. It's a beautiful campus. They got their own field. Someday it'll be turned, but we'll see. And welcome back to the Prep Sports Report High School Pigskin Preview for week number 4. And, this team had to play 2 games last week. They played on Monday. They won. They had to play on Friday. They won. Back-to-back in 1 week's pretty tough, but they're off to a 2-1 start. And this young man has high expectations of his program. He's at the helm now for 5 years. Has been doing a great job. The Saul C. Johnson Addis Specialists come in with a 2-1 record. Haven't got to region yet, but they're a team to be reckoned with. Joining me now on the hot seat, of course, he's never on the hot seat, is the head coach at Saul C. Johnson High School, Kendrick Bonner. What's up, Coach?
How you doing? Appreciate you for having me, Demasi.
Hey, it's always fun talking to you. I mean, I remember that first year you were there, and you had to come in and change the culture, and you've been doing a great job doing it. So talk about the program, where it's gone in 5 years for you.
I want to start with this thing. For us, the resources have become a thing that have been provided, and I think the stuff that we've done on campus over here at Johnson, one of the biggest things is just kind of getting the weight room together. Our weight room has come a long way, and I think it's really paying dividends on the field for us. So just kind of speaking into resources has been good, and then buy-in from the kids, buy-in from the parents. All of that stuff has been good. Those are things that we're trying to push now more than just the culture. So now we're maintaining culture and looking for more parental buy-in, and the guys just kind of already bought in. They bought in year 1 or 2.
Well, you're off to a 2-1 record. You're on the road to start off down in McIntosh County Academy. Tough loss, 20-12, but you guys came back in that fourth quarter, putting 2 scores on the board. And then you came back and beat Windsor Forest on Monday, 24-0. And then Friday night, you beat Brantley County. You're up 21-7. You held on to win 21-19. But Coach, any way you can get a win is great. Talk about the schedule so far, and how was it playing those 2 games in 1 week? Well, within 5 days.
Oh, my God. The biggest thing that we had to do as a coaching staff is make sure that we took care of the kids, rest and recovery, because usually after a football game on a Friday night, you get Saturday, Sunday off, right? And so you kind of get that time. But this time, you play a game on Monday and there's no time off. I think we were mostly helmets the rest of the week after that game while trying to install a game plan for Brantley County. But the things that the coaches pointed out was they didn't think that we would lack physicality, so it was no reason to really beat up on each other Tuesday, Wednesday. And we knew Thursday would be a walkthrough day anyway before Brantley County. So it was weird for me to practice on a Tuesday and Wednesday in just a helmet.
The kids responded. I mean, your senior running back, one of the threats you got in the backfield, Marion Scott, 162 yards, a touchdown, 19 carries. I mean, pretty impressive. You got Sam Dowdy back there. But what I'm looking at is your quarterback's only a sophomore, Malachi Brown.
Yeah, Malachi Bacon, that is. But, man, he is
I apologize.
No problem. He's really coming into his own. When we were down in McIntosh, man, we just didn't know. what he would be able to do, because he didn't play with us against Swainsboro in the actual scrimmage. So we didn't know how well he would be able to facilitate the ball and really be that real field general for us. And he got out there and against McIntosh, man, and he's impressed us to the utmost. So where now he's in the driver's seat. Well, we thought we was going to have a quarterback competition between him and a senior, and it's not much of a quarterback competition anymore.
It's always to have those young guys step up. And talk about Mr. Scott's performance, 162 yards against a pretty good Brantley County defense from what I was told.
Yeah, with Amarion Scott, it was last year around about the fourth game of the season. I think we played Jenkins, where he kind of had a breakout year, and he went on the rush for over 700 yards around the fourth game of the season. And even when we checked up on his stats last week before the Brantley County game, he was already ahead of where he was then at that point in the season. So now, just putting in 162 yards on the ground. It's just he's off to a phenomenal start. We don't have a doubt in our mind that he's going to be 1,000-yard back this year.
How about your defense? I mean, anybody stepping up on your defense?
We have our defensive captain back, Makari Stafford. He's back this year as a senior. He's leading the way. We got another guy who's come out of nowhere. We did not expect this out of him, leading the team in tackles, David Petty. And then we have a sophomore named Jashawn Lovett, who had the pick 6 against Brantley County. Those three dudes are leading the team in tackles, and those three dudes are making tons of plays for this defense.
So, as far as your philosophy on defense, what has it been for the Adams Smashers this year? Is it speed? Is it quickness? Is it coming off the edges? Where are you guys coming from on defense?
It's honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's experience. We got 8 seniors starting on defense, and these 8 seniors have been in the program since their freshman year, and that's just, I don't know. Having 8 seniors, that allows you to play fast. So when you say, are we playing with speed? Having 8 seniors out there, I just think the whole defense is playing fast. They've been in the program for a while.
All right, so now you come up with your last non-region game this Friday night against Beach. What can we see from the Adams Smashers this Friday night? And then I'll save that other question after you tell us about your game Friday night.
Against Beach, what we know that Beach is going to always play Johnson tough. That's the first thing we know about Beach. The second thing is Beach has athleticism. They are fast, and we know that they can make you miss. And if we give them some opportunities in space, they can make it a game we don't want to make it. So that's just kind of speaking on their offense. Defensively, when you talk about Beach, we want to kind of just do what we do best on offense, and eliminate the penalties. I've seen the articles where you're talking about Johnson could be a team if they aren't, so heavily penalized. We're trying to do everything we can as a coaching staff to make sure we're not penalized. For example, me personally, as the head coach, I am wearing a referee jersey to practice. I'm wearing a referee jersey, and I have flags at practice, trying to get my team to understand the importance of, if we eliminate these penalties on offense, regardless of what kind of penalties they are, we can score a lot of points. So we're not really worried so much about Beach's defense, because we got things to focus on our own offense. But now when you talk about Beach's offense, they have athletes and they have speed. So those are the things that we got to look out for when we play Beach, the speed that they have.
All right, I know you addressed this question back in Media Day, but now after this week, you get into your region schedule, which doesn't look pretty easy. So tell us about the region, what it's going to be like for the Adams Smashers, because it's going to make it a lot tougher for a public school to make the playoffs this year.
The hard thing about the region is this: you got I think 2 county schools, and Liberty County and Long County, and then you have 3 private schools. Just those 5 teams alone, man. Like you said, being a public inner city school, those 5 teams will have a certain level of resources and maybe even commitment that some may think that most inner city schools don't have. And we're trying to instill in our culture. And when we're talking to our guys, we're just trying to make sure they understand, like, hey, man, don't allow a county school or a private school to be more disciplined than you. Don't allow them to have more commitment than you. So make the necessary sacrifices to be at practice every day, to be in the weight room every day. And we think our guys are answering the call.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch when you guys open up that region season. First of all, you got to take on an arch rival of Johnson High School every year is Beach High School. Okay, so quickly, I told you only 10 minutes. We got about a minute to go. Three keys for the Adam Smashers to win Friday night.
3 keys for the Adam Smashers to win Friday night. The first thing is going to be to take care of the ball. Offensive guys got to take care of the ball. Second thing will be defensive guys got to be able to tackle in space. And then the third thing will just be being less penalized. No penalty. Cut back on the penalties. Can't say it won't be no penalties, but just to cut back on the penalties on offense.
Well, Kendrick, it's always a pleasure talking to you, watching you grow that program from 5 years ago. You're doing a great job over there, and keep it going. And look forward to talking to you later on in the season when we get into that grind for the playoffs. And welcome back to the Prep Sports Report High School Pigskin preview for Week 4. Third coach to join me on the hot seat, doing a great job over there at Country Day. He's learning how to deal with small numbers, but he's making it work. And the Hornets always come out to play. They open up region play this Friday night, tomorrow night. This was, of course, and that'll be against rival Savannah Christian out there in Pooler Stadium. Joining me now on the Coach's Corner hot seat, the man himself, John Mooring. What's up, Coach?
Carl?
How's it going?
It's going good.
Another day to get ready for a rival game on Friday, but you guys are off to a 2-1 start, and so talk about this edition. What's going on so far since we last talked at the Prep Sports Report Media Day?
Season's kind of going pretty well for us as expected. We're off to a pretty good start. We've managed to stay healthy thus far, which is the key for us at this point. But the boys are playing hard, playing good defense, and giving ourselves a chance to win the game.
And you're opening up this Friday with, of course, region rival. No matter what you guys play, it could be hopscotch. The Hornets and Raiders are going to go at it. So you're opening up region play. Talk about this region now that you're coming into. I mean, you got 3 private schools. You guys came together. Okay, you got 3 public schools. You got 2 county schools. What's it looking like for you with the Hornets?
We know it's going to be great competition. Numbers wise, we match up with everyone, but or don't match up with everyone. But we know Savannah Christian, Calvary. We played them in the past. They're going to be tough, and the other Savannah public schools are going to be new for us, or at least new for me.
Yeah, and then you got to throw Liberty County and Long County in there too, right?
Yeah, we have Long County next week, so we'll find out sooner rather than later.
So, but from a positive standpoint, you guys aren't traveling as much as you used to. What does that mean to your program?
Oh, I mean, it's great. Last year was not fun, to say the least, traveling all over the state and, getting home super late on Friday nights. At least we know we're local. Everything's about an hour away at the most.
So as far as numbers go, you're talking about numbers. Any improvement on the numbers? Are they staying the same?
About the same. We've had a couple kids with preseason injuries that were missing, that were key components for our team last year. But we're right around like 29 healthy kids. So coach has had to play a little scout team this week. So I might be limping into game time myself.
Hey, talking about that, you got to be proud of the alma mater there, buddy. You could have played scout team for them.
Yeah, they had a really good win on Saturday. That was impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. All right, so you lost some key players, of course, Barry Klein-Peter, some excellent football players from last year's team. And you got, of course, Michael Grundy coming back, and you got a sophomore, Barton Mixon. Is that his name?
That's correct.
So talk about the kids so far, what they've done for you so far this year.
Yeah, we have a great young team. Michael's one of our 2 seniors, and we really try to lean on him. I think he's had 20-plus carries in all 3 of our games. Barton has played really well for being a sophomore, and really this is his 3rd or 4th game starting ever. So we've managed our expectations, with that, and try to put him in winnable situations. And, the line has blocked really well for us in the first few games. And, we're really trying to spend that time on defense, just trying to play a good defensive game, be sound, and keep us in ball games.
Well, talking about, Barry Klein-Peter, all world the last 3 or 4 years over there at Country Day. You got Brooks Klein-Peter coming in. Does he have the same mentality of his brother where he doesn't care if he's a quarterback, a linebacker, he's going to run you over?
Yeah, they're built the same cloth.
They're both going at it. So, all right. So you talked about your defense and, a couple of key injuries. You talked about your offensive line. What has been the key for your success so far coming into this game at 2-1?
Really, it's just, we have a great group of kids. They buy into the game plan. They're hanging on to every word. You're not having the coach in the same mistakes, every week. So we've been able to progress and get, we talk about getting 1% better and stuff like that. And we're just trying to get better and play better each week. We played against a good Aquinas team last week. We fell short, but we had a ton of mistakes that we're able to learn from going into the bye week. We try to fix those mistakes, and then we'll get to see what's up on this Friday. I mean, they're blowing out everybody, so hopefully we can keep up with them.
That's my next question. You came into this situation. You played up in Statesboro, but you're not really from the Savannah area. What was it like with those rival games with Calvary and Christian for you? And for you personally, coming into something like that, which the atmosphere is always crazy, the fans are crazy. What was it like for you?
I'm just really blessed that I had that big senior class last year because, I came in and not knowing the rivalries per se, but, seeing kind of like these rivalry hate week kind of attitudes that they take into it. It was really special last year, and now we have 2 seniors this year where that, the younger kids are still trying to figure it out. But the older kids kind of, left a good taste last year and showed us kind of the way.
All right, so you got a year under your belt. What has been the positives over there for Country Day besides the football? What's the atmosphere like been for John Mooring and the coaches over there?
It's really good. I mean, we've been trying to build a culture. I don't know what was done here before me, but just trying to get, kids in the weight room, and we have a full-time strength coach now that's working out with the kids throughout the day. So those are steps that we took to try to, enhance our program as a whole, not just football. Athletics, hands down, boys, girls, everybody's in the weight room all day. So those are the things that you can kind of hang your hat on and try to improve.
Well, are you in there showing them how they do it the Georgia Southern way?
Sometimes.
All right, so let's wrap this up. I know you got to go. I got to go. I told you no more than 10 minutes, and this is all going to be aired Thursday night at 6 o'clock. This is the Prep Sports Report High School Pigskin Preview for Week 4. I'm talking to the head man over there at Savannah Country Day, John Mooring. So 3 things that your coaching staff, or 3 keys that your coaching staff has come up for the Hornets to win tomorrow night.
We got to establish a run game. Got to keep their offense off the field. That's probably number 1. And then number 2 is we got to be sound with our defensive fits. They do some things offensively where, it's tough to defend. So if we can limit their big plays, keep the ball out of their hands, and then play good on special teams and win the special team battle, I think we'll be okay.
Now, coming from a defensive guy, did you ever think that you would say that my offense is going to be my best defense Friday night?
Yeah, that's exactly what I know how important it is. When I was at Southern, I mean, that offense was chewing the clock and keeping us off the field, and we got to just go out there and play fast because we were playing limited snaps. So that's my whole philosophy, is just try to run the ball, establish the run, play physical, and then, just try to play good, sound defense, limit big plays.
All right, and you being, a former college football player, you played on grass. What's it like playing on all this artificial turf now, or whatever they call it? I mean, is it kind of crazy?
I love it. I mean, personally, I think there's no better surface to play on. We're talking about getting it over here. A lot of the Country Day faithful love the grass field, and our facilities team does such a great job keeping that thing maintained. So as though I'd love to go to turf, we do have a great home field.
Well, John, always a pleasure. Thank you for finding the 10 minutes to come on here and talk about it. Good luck Friday night. And I know we'll talk later on in the season. And once again, it's going to be a battle between the Hornets and Raiders over there at Pula Stadium. Good luck, Coach, and I appreciate what you're doing.
Thanks, Carl. I appreciate your time.
And remember, just do it one more time.
Just do it one more time.
See you later, Coach.
All right.
Bye. I mean, another young, energetic guy, 2 years at Country Day. He's brought so much to that program over there with his college experience, his pro experience, and just him as a human being. He would be a guy I would want my kid to play for. John Mooring, the head coach over there at Country Day. 7:30, Pula Stadium. It's Savannah Christian Raiders hosting the Hornets of Savannah Country Day. I'll be back to wrap this up in about a minute. Talk to you then. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Just a packed show. Always is a packed show. And, it's all about the kids. And that's why I love doing it every Thursday night, getting this. I'm like a broken record. I hope you enjoyed the insight from the head coaches. And here is tomorrow night's schedule one more time. Big region play openers, big region games for some teams getting ready for next week. Week 4 schedule. Friday, September 16th. New Hampshire at Richmond Hill. Big game right there. New Hampshire at 4-0. Richmond Hill coming at 2-2. Jenkins at Carrollton. Islands at Brunswick. Now these are region games. Johnson at Beach at Savannah High. Calvary Day School at Liberty County. Long County at Groves at Garden City Stadium. Savannah Country Day at Savannah Christian at Pula Stadium. Savannah Christian comes in at 3-0. Portal at Bryan County. Portal 3-0. Bryan County 2-1. Redskins are hot. We'll see what happens. Savannah High is at Cross Creek. Notre Dame Academy is at Memorial Day. Bethesda was supposed to play at Cross Creek Schools in Hardyville, but has been canceled. So the Blazers are now 5-0. So once again, I got to thank the head coaches for coming on tonight's show. Of course, from St. Andrews, head coach Kevin Prezant was on my show last Saturday night, last Saturday morning on the Call Demasi Sports Report. Lions 1-0. South Sea Johnson head coach Kendrick Bonner. These Adams Smashers won 2 games within 5 days last week. And wrapping it up with Savannah Country Day head coach John Mooring taking on crosstown rival Savannah Christian.